Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if your name is William, Kate, what is going on? Baby, these people are so, if you guys haven't heard, right? What's up, Sussex Squad? How y'all doing today? See, there's a little problem that's going on in the royal family. You see, William and Kate, forget about Kate. She's not even in the sentence anymore. She can't even, we don't even know if Kate can come out to play. But William and Charles and Kate in the last 9 months have been accused of being the royal racists. They have been confirmed to be the royal racists. They have been confirmed to be slumlords, greedy, billionaires that prey on others. They have been confirmed to be in what appears to be a marriage on the verge of divorce. On top of that, Harry got to read text messages that were sent from the palace communication to his ops at the tabloids while they were destroying him. They have had, as much as they want to paint this as Harry's a loser, they have had a rough year. Kate was missing on half the year. Half of us, including myself, thought she wasn't even on this earth. Little did we know it was probably William praying that that was true. Well, guess what? In what can only be described as a thinly veiled attempt to change the subject. Do you know they issued a story saying that William and Kate's place was burglarized from with farm vehicles and farm vehicles and tractors and all this stuff? Why their children slept close by? Okay, stop. First of all, this is clearly a PR tactic to try to elicit sympathy. Just like Kate has cancer, doesn't have cancer, whatnot. I did some videos about that. Even the correction, first they said it was cancerous, then they said it was precancerous, then there's this and that. Yo, stop lying. But getting into that, right? First of all, it seems like whenever the Windsor says something, instead of just believing what they say, we really should actually just think about what they said. All these items got stolen while the kids slept just feet away. First of all, Kate and the kids live in Adelaide Cottage. We know it is four, and we know that there are hardly any sheds or anything around there. Second of all, you mean to tell me that the future Queen of England, and I use that term loosely because we'll see who is sitting on that throne when William ascends into nothingness of the King of England. But also, you really expect us to believe that they keep tractors, they keep all this machinery by Kate's house? Shut up. It doesn't even make any sense. Of course, the Windsors own 90% of the 90% of the land in the UK, if you believe the that article that just came out and the Channel 4 documentary. Of course, everything around them is Windsor land and it's close to the castle. But to be so low as to actually make it seem like somebody broke in the dead of night and the children were ever in danger, that mess happened 9, 10 kilometers away, or who knows what else. So what are they trying to cover up, right? What do they not want us to look at? What do they not want us to notice, right? Um, well, for one, I think they don't want us to notice that they are billionaire slumlords. I think all that other stuff they don't care about. I think they don't want us to notice that why they scream about, oh my God, we have to find a way to save the earth. What they mean is you poors need to find a way to stop polluting my planet as I go around on a plane in the biggest con ever, which is the British royal family. And you know how I know that? And it also makes me realize that Kate's sole purpose is to be a fodder for William. That's it. When William does something horrible, Kate must be the one to fall on the sword. Now, don't get me wrong, Kate willingly doesn't, and sometimes Kate actually is the sword. But at the end of the day, they're even pulling Meghan in. Let's talk about this. The Daily Mail said Kate and Duchess repeatedly reached out to Meghan. Why are they still hashing this? Meghan don't like y'all, as well she shouldn't. I don't know why everybody's so embarrassed to admit that. Meghan doesn't like them. She shouldn't like them. Meghan's not into abuse. She's not into being mentally abused. Turn the other cheek doesn't mean you stand there and let them keep slapping you. It means you turn the other cheek and walk away, right? Meghan knows how to walk away. Kate and Sophie damn sure don't like Meghan. But the fact that they are still trying to keep Meghan's name, every time Meghan's name comes into the media, they are trying to cover up for something. It could also be for the fact that they're trying to cover up the fact that Harry got to see text messages. Now, I know that Harry says he doesn't leak to the media and he doesn't like the media, but if y'all don't go and trot yourselves down back in front of Oprah or Gayle King and go have some fun, please, I'll be telling them everything I knew. Get this. They said while the future queen has focused on domestic issues such as mental health and the well being of under fives, is Kate even back to work? The only thing she's focused on is saying that she is undergoing chemo, sitting out in the sun of Wimbledon for about 4 hours, where I think most people going through chemo have to severely limit their sun exposure. And Kate never even sat under an umbrella. But she did want us to know that lesser mortals wouldn't have been able to. Kate, you are the lesser moral, but more mortal, but let's keep going, right? Sophie has traveled solo to Chad, Ethiopia, and even war-torn Ukraine, campaigning on women's rights and the use of SB as a weapon of war. So you've been campaigning on what some of Meghan's campaigns were. But even then, at the end of the day, I don't want to be petty like the British royals. Yes, Meghan first brought that up to the royals. Yes, that was one of the campaigns she was on. Yes, it made the royals mad. Okay. But you know what? If Sophie, even if she stole the idea, who cares? Because the point is helping people. If Sophie could find a way to take Meghan's initial idea and actually help a lot of people and bring awareness to the issue, then who could be mad at that? The only problem is Sophie ain't never bring awareness to anything because I cover the royals and I forgot she went to Chad and the Ukraine. So, baby, you can steal ideas all you want, but you got to do them bigger and better. But anyway, let's get on. And yet there's no competition between them, as was sometimes claimed in the early days of Diana and Sarah. Both respect each other's work and they're mutually supportive of their approaches to the royal roles. There's no competition. There's no competition. There's no competition because Kate bullied Sophie into that thing. Early on, Kate wanted the field cleared so she'd be the only one to stand. Sophie was the last person, and she even bullied Sophie into submission so her daughter, Lady Eloise, could become a working royal. How'd that work out? Did she ever get a job? I'm just curious. But all jokes aside, there's no competition. How can there be competition? Kate doesn't do anything. She doesn't have a real job. Kate cannot compete. She can't compare. She can't do anything. What competition between Kate and Sophie? Sophie is the bigger deal. Sophie does more for her country, and Sophie don't do anything. So, Kate, what does that say about you? I love this. There's no competition before the ladies. I'm told that Kate also has enormous admiration for Sophie as a mother, both of whom have been brought up. Sophie got two kids, both of whom have been brought up to value their privilege while having freedom away from the royal radar. As an approach Kate is trying to adopt with George, Charlotte, and Louis within constrictions of their higher profiles and future roles. Kate is said to be especially fond of level headed Lady Louise, studying English literature at alma mater St. Andrews. How can I say this? Have y'all seen Lady Eloise? I think Kate has no problem standing next to her because Kate feels that standing next to Lady Eloise, she shines bright like a diamond. Now, I'm not saying Kate looks better than Lady Eloise, but that doesn't mean anything. Kate, I believe, thinks she looks better. Just like Kate, I believe, thinks she's the hardest working person in the world. Let's keep going. They said, interesting, I'm told both repeatedly, Kate and Sophie, reached out to Meghan when she joined the royal family. Yeah, probably to sabotage her. Sophie, particularly so, as the late queen valued her wise and steady counsel. They continued to do so even after Meghan first publicly voiced her unhappiness. Both women were shocked and probably slightly angered at the suggestion, not least because they felt it was Meghan who had rebuffed them. But I know they were concerned enough at the apparent strength of Meghan's feelings that they continued to offer their support. Needless to say, it was not taken up. There's no doubt the ensuing Sussex saga brought Sophie and Catherine even closer as they defended Queen Elizabeth, their own families and institution they had worked so hard to support. And how's that working out for you, Sophie? How's that working out? Did your daughter get the job she wanted? I'm guessing no. Is she a working royal? She is not. Is Charles being any nicer to you guys? He is not. Are you guys doing anything? Even the Duke of Edinburgh reverts back to the crown. Kate, how's that working out for you? Maybe, kinda, sorta, worse sick, then come to find out that you kinda, sorta weren't. William is back to being repulsed by you. You're not invited anywhere for the first time since you guys been married. Forget about a wreath being laid on Remembrance Day. You showed up to boost the nation. And Kate didn't even write your name on the joint remembrance thing. There be erasing you. Even Camilla got a wreath laid in her name. How's that working out to you? You work so hard to support these institutions. Good luck with that. Baby, patriarchy eats everything alive. They also said there has been some really kind and wise people along the way who have helped the princess over the years, and Sophie is very much one of those. Sophie has been a very positive reference point and sounding board for the Duchess of Cambridge. Their relationship has really strengthened. It will be absolutely critical for Kate to have a female backup, and she simply couldn't get better than someone like Sophie. Okay, first of all, I believe that Sophie actually paid for this endorsement, and she's going to pay because every single time Sophie dares suggest that she is not Will and Kate's dog, especially Kate's dog, she always gets played, rebuked, and laughed at. But you know what? So be it. So be it. Listen, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Listen, the Megan stuff is laughable. It is what it is. Meghan and Harry are doing good. Two guys broke into the Royal Windsor estate. Yeah, okay, sure. Maybe they did, but nobody was ever in danger. This is, anyway, right? Um, Oh, really quick. There was an article that there's a glamour vacuum at the top of the House of Windsor. Um, they said royal historian, let me just read y'all this real quick and then I'll let you go. They said royal historian expert Dr. Tessa Dunlop. That's Charles's solo, said Charles's alone appearance at the premiere and William's smaller R royal trip to South Africa have shed a huge spotlight on how much has changed lately for the royals, especially since the memorably glamorous Bond premiere back in 2021. Well, that's because they were competing against Harry and Meghan. And honestly, Will and Kate don't know how to function without a reference point of who to copy or who to bully or who to steal identity. She explained to the Mirror, he was up against gladiatorial men, scoring up to Paul Mescal and Pedro Pascal is no mean feat. But the king looked inescapably alone on the red carpet in Leicester Square last night. There was no retro glamour. Let's not forget Denzel Washington refused to leave the red carpet for him. No tinsel, no tiaras. Even Camilla, still battling a nasty chest infection. Camilla is not battling a nasty chest infection, in my opinion. Camilla is probably being uh, punished for embarrassing the king at that royal tour, where the local people were showing them, giving her their culture, and she was laughing in their face. So yeah, nice try, but let's continue. Okay. uh, to confiscate. I longed for the king to wear an emerine gown or pop a crown on his head. Instead, he dutifully made his way down the line of stellar names. The fabulous No Time to Die Bond premiere, when Camilla and Kate waltzed out in a haze of designer sequence, felt like a world away. One small glimpse of the Prince of Wales and Remembrance Black on Sunday was a painful reminder of what we're missing. Of the princess. There's a vacuum at the top. And a problem with vacuums is that they invite all sorts of unwanted intruders. The royal machine has clearly decided they can compensate for a depleted public presence with relentless philanthropy on ITV. Oh, that's shade. This is definitely William's happy space. Earthshot speeches and homeless documentaries are version of royalty with a small r. But royalty needs to be careful. With the public will tolerate a bit of charitable hectoring, but only if accompanied by a large dollop of fairy tale glamour. And with the potential for a glitzy and glamour vacuum to form, according to Tessa, there are two people who she says could easily fill it. The royal family might think they are above such glitzy gimmicks. That would be a mistake. After all, waiting in the wings are ex royals, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Instinctively glamorous with bundles of razzmatazz, the California couple have an effortless knack for combining showbiz gloss and public do gooding. Already estranged from the House of Windsor, Trump returning to the White House gives them another excuse to regroup. With a new house in Portugal, the perfect launch pad for a European offensive, William beware, it would never do the royal brand to be upstaged. Now, listen, first of all, I'm a bit worried about that new administration in the fact that they are very, very friendly to the royals. You know, power likes power. I will say that at the end of the day, the Royals did it to themselves and they deserve it. Yeah, they could fill the power vacuum. Yeah, they could help them. Yeah, they could do. But at the end of the day, the Windsors don't think that they need it. They think we're the problem, you guys. And all I say is let them keep saying it because I think it's hilarious that at the end of the day, they just don't know what to do with themselves. And you know what? I love that for them. Again, so much has changed. There is a power vacuum, but it's one that they want. They've literally started to eat themselves alive. And baby, I love seeing them choke on the bitter taste. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to you later. Bye.